Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Timilola Apela. I am your facilitator for EDU711, Introduction to Foundations of Education. In this course, we'll be discussing meaning and relevance of philosophy of education, equality of educational opportunity, psychology of education, introduction to learning theories, readiness to learning, motivation and its relation to learning, transfer of learning, concept and nature of education, types of education, the growth of education in Nigeria, educational trend in Nigeria, the status of teachers in Nigeria, education and the society, social class and education opportunity. We'll also discuss factors that influence education. I wish you a successful session. Thank you.
Hello everyone. The summary of this lesson is readiness, factors of readiness, how to build readiness in learners, motivation, types of motivation, theories of motivation, how to motivate learners for better learning. Thank you.
This is Foundations of Education. I am Dr. Timilola Apela from the Department of Educational Foundations, Faculty of Education, National Open University of Nigeria. The intended learning outcome for this course is that at the end of this discussion, you should be able to define readiness to learn and enumerate factors of readiness to learn. Explain the factors of readiness to learn. Discuss how readiness can be built for effective teaching and learning. Define and explain the term motivation. Explain the theories of motivation. List and describe the types of motivation. Discuss the application of theories of motivation in the classroom. Readiness to learn. Law of readiness was postulated by Edward Thorndike in 1930. The principle holds that before orgasm acts, it has to be ready. The body, the heart, the mind has to be ready before an action is performed. Learning can only occur if the organism is ready physiologically and psychologically. It has to be ready all round, not just physiologically. It has to be ready psychologically. Everything must work together. Readiness. The physical, motor, socio-emotional behavior, linguistic and cognitive skills indicating preparedness to receive formal educational institutions is what is referred to as readiness. It is the state of a person's body and mind when the experience is about to be received. The law of readiness is the degree of preparedness and eagerness of a person to learn. It is law of action tendency. The individual learns best when they are ready to learn, and when they are not ready to learn, when they don't see any reason to learn, nothing much will be learned. What are the factors that determine readiness? The first one is maturation. The person who is about to learn must be matured enough for the experience that he wants to learn, the experience he wants to face. 2, experience. The experience itself has to be commensurate, has to go in pari passu with the age. The age must not be too low for the experience, and the experience must not be too high for the age. It has to go in pari passu. It has to go together. Relevance and material and method is the third one. The material to be used to pass the experience must be relevant to the experience that is about to be learned, and the method of delivery must also be relevant. All that combined together is what will make the objective of the experience to be realized. There are other factors like learner's attitude and personal adjustment. If a learner has other issues, it may not allow him to be ready to learn. Building readiness. How can you build readiness in a learner? Providing preschool experience. Prepare the mind before he or she goes out, like feeding well, making the child to be happy, providing other things necessary needed like the writing materials, equipping the child well before school. 2, providing readiness programs in school. The school too must provide programs that will make learners to be ready to study, like physical exercise. It will activate them, it will activate their body. Building self-confidence through individual counseling. Let the child be bold to speak out. Encourage the child to speak. Giving students responsibility may make a child that is an introvert a class captain. You can make the child a janitor. The fact that he has a responsibility will bring we make him to speak, and it will make him to want to excel. He will not want to be seen as someone that cannot perform and has a position. Also, frequent praises by teachers. Teachers should learn to appreciate learners when they perform well. Giving room for competition. There must be healthy competition among learners. This will encourage readiness. Motivation. It is a force or condition within the organism that compels it to act or respond. It can be biological, social, and learned factors that initiate, sustains, and stop goal-directed behavior. So, at times, it is encouraged by outward things. At times, it is natural. So, it is a force. It is inner thing. It is something within a person that pushes him, that urges him to perform an action. Types of motivation. We have extrinsic motivation. It forces in an individual. It's a force or forces in an individual that regulates his behavior. It may be hunger. Once he eats, is calm. It may be thirst. Some people, it may be drink. It may be some other things. Once they have that thing, they will be okay. Intrinsic motivation. This comes as an inherent feeling of satisfaction after an experience. Once someone experience something, is satisfied, is okay, he feels okay, and he feels encouraged to do the action is supposed to perform, or to face the experience is supposed to go through. Achievement motivation is a motivation for accomplishment, desire to excel in something, in a competition, desire to attain a goal, desire to acquire something. It motivates an individual to do something. Theories of motivation. We have hedonistic theory. This hedonistic theory influences a person towards pleasure and pain receptors on his willingness to move towards a goal or away from a threat. This theory advocates that only pleasure or pain motivates a person. That is, when there is something pleasurable, that person will want to perform an action. When there is pain attached, the person will be withdrawn from the action. The other one is physiological equilibrium theory. An organ rests when in a state of equilibrium. Maybe when a person settles down or probably even sleeping. When a drive like hunger or thirst develops, the organism is motivated to alleviate this disequilibrium by engaging in appropriate behavior regarding the drive. The next one is drive reduction theory. The reduction of drive is the primary force behind motivation. Getting what your body wants at a particular time, satisfying your desire, is what drive reduction theory about. Then the next one is cybernetic theory. This theory believes that motivation comes from inside a man. The internal urge plays more important role than signals that are rigidly linked to a response. The internal organ, the internal feeling plays better role. The next one is conditioning theory. It is the simplest of them all. It says that people will do things for which they are rewarded and will avoid things for which they are punished. This is natural. It is automatic. It's applicable to everybody, even little children. When you give them something, anytime they perform an action, they will always want to perform it, even if it is just sweet. And when you punish them for something, they will not want to do that kind of thing again because they don't want punishment. The last one is Maslow's growth theory. This theory has to do with human needs. It ranges from physiological need to self-actualization. We have physiological need like the need for accommodation, need for food, need for drink, the natural basic needs. Then we have need for safety. Everybody wants security. Everybody wants to be safe. The need for love or belongingness. After safety, after basic needs like accommodation, people want to be loved. They want to love and be loved. They want to belong to a group, to a community, to a society. Then we have self-esteem. Under all these under Maslow's growth theory. You want self-esteem, self-respect. Then the last one, self-actualization, self-fulfillment, attainment in life. How can you motivate students for better learning? Make your lesson interesting. Develop a state of need in the student by exposing them to the objective of the lesson. Structure your lesson, situation and material in a way that allows success in earlier steps. Reinforce later steps. Provide adequate feedback to students on a continuous basis. Make judicious use of incentives. Evolve a token economy system. Give them something, no matter how small, no matter how little, after a good performance. Develop an atmosphere for healthy competition among students. Make all learning meaningful and relevant to the experience of students. When it's not relevant to them, they will not be encouraged to learn. Develop curiosity by widening the experimental horizon of students. Let them learn by discovery. Make all learning pleasant, desirable, and worthwhile. develop positive attitude and intentions towards learning in students. It is important. Class activity. Study this in few minutes.
Hello everyone. We have come to the end of this lesson, wherein we discuss readiness, factors of readiness, how to build readiness in learners. We discuss motivation, types of motivation, theories of motivation, and how to build motivation in learners for better learning. Thank you.
Wherein we discuss readiness.